Frank Gore ran for 48 yards.
Future Hall of Famer.
No. Stop
Yes.
it. Stop.
You're out your freaking mind, Max.
I don't want to have this conversation now. I'm just going to say, being good for a long time doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame unless you're in the NBA.
I mean, it's not like he's a long snapper in the NFL for a long time. He was productive.
Okay, if you're the best long snapper in the league for 20 years, should you get in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Why?
Because you're not that valuable.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Juan from the Max and Juan Cast, back with the best podcast in the whole entire world with my co-host.
It's Max. It's the whole wide world, bro.
What do you mean by that? You got to clarify, bruh.
EARF.
Man, what a Sunday, right?
It had its ups. It had its downs. I don't own your life. Kind of sad, but whatever, bro. I was Saturday, but I don't even want to talk about it. We'll get into it.
Well, let's get right into it, man. Best game of the week, I felt like that was the most interesting, was this Colts and Steelers game. It was a close game. It was a great game, like we predicted. Steelers came out on top, 24-28, coming down from, what was it, 21-3 at one point?
I think you're right, yeah.
Regardless, guts by the Steelers. Juju Smith
Big
with
guts.
with the redemption of his life over here dancing in the locker room after the game.
Can you go back to TikToking after this one? I don't know.
I know,
that's a
right?
question
Well,
only
he got the
you can
dub,
answer.
so apparently he is.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, after the game, the whole wide receivers and tight ends, everyone was in the locker room doing TikTok dances after the win.
Did this game leave like a sour taste in your mouth too? Like, I know the Steelers won, Colts lost, but I still feel like I can't trust either of these teams, man. And I really want to trust the Colts.
I still trust the Colts. I felt like today was more of a as much
Phillip
as
Rivers?
as much as I criticize Mike Tomlin, I really do feel like he outcoached Frank Wright today.
I don't know if I agree with that. I felt like Phillip Rivers cost them this game. We put the Phillip Rivers disclaimer on the picks. He had one really dumb interception where he just did his Phillip Rivers thing and flung it up in the air, and it just landed with the Steelers. And then that, like the fumble he had, my guy, you have one job. Just hold on to the ball, my guy.
I think that's just a testament on how great this defense play, though. We're always talking about how great the Colts O-line is, and what about the Steelers, man? Their defense came out to play. And
they were down 2 tackles, though. That really came back to hurt them, man.
Yeah.
Losing both their starting
Costanzo
tackles.
was a big loss.
And Braden Smith. He's probably better than Costanzo on the right side.
Yeah.
Look, do you have more faith in the Steelers' run game or Phillip Rivers' decision-making?
I have more faith in Phillip Rivers' decision-making.
Is that just because he's Phillip Rivers, or is because how
No.
bad the Steelers' run game is?
That's because how
they're
bad the Steelers'
horrendous.
run game is.
Yeah, they're so horrendous. I want to look up the stat. Let me look up the stat. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure he had less than 50 yards today, James Conner.
I mean, how many team rushing yards are like 60?
If that. It was bad.
20?
20 rush yards.
20
yeah, it was
big
bad.
rushing yards?
They are so pass happy.
I feel like that's due to because they have to be, though. It's not like they just can't run the ball. Their O-line, they're huge, right? They're all like tall. They're just not good at pushing people around. Listen to this. Connor, 5 carries, 20. Benny Snell, 6 carries, a whopping 0 yards. He has as many rushing yards as I did.
Yeah. Hey, well, look, you got to give credit to Big Ben and all the Steelers, man. They were down at some point in that game. It was looking bad, and they crawled all the way back. And, dude, you cannot mention this game without mentioning T.J. Watt. How about T.J. Watt? I think I'm convinced if Aaron Donald doesn't have an amazing game this last week, he's my defensive player of the year.
I think he might win it even with the amazing game because there's such a thing as voter fatigue. I know this isn't the NBA, but people don't like to vote for the same guy every year. They want to talk about the story. Pittsburgh got off to what? The 11-0 start? 10-0 start?
Yeah, 11 wins.
This is going to be a hot take. TJ Watt's better than JJ Watt. I don't know if that's shocking.
Yeah, that's not shocking.
You know, all the Texan fans, all like the mainstream media fans still think JJ Watt's that guy from 5 years ago?
Yeah, TJ Watt is amazing. If they lose him or Minka Fitzpatrick, that team is completely decimated and their defense is nowhere near to what it is right now.
I really want to see them get a corner on this defense because their corners suck. Joe Hayden's good in zone. Who's your other corner? It's
Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton's solid, but he's like a munchkin out there. He gets mossed every other drive, I feel like.
I see him more as a slot guy, if anything.
Yeah, he shouldn't be playing the outside. I love Minka. Terrell Emmons is solid. This defense is carrying this team, man. They can't run the ball. Their offense is shaky. And the beginning part of the game played out exactly what you wanted to see if you were a Colts fan. They went 3 and out. Big Ben's just throwing the ball over the place. They're short yards. Man, the defense won the Steelers this game. I don't think there's any other way to put it, right?
No, straight up. Big Ben made some really good throws. Juju Smith and
he did.
And Deontay Johnson. Yeah, they made some big plays. But with the conclusion of this game, does this make you think differently about either team?
No, I still can't trust either team. I feel like they're just a tier below. The Chiefs, I honestly would take the Titans over both of these teams. I know they just got spanked in Green Bay. I still would take the Titans over both these teams. Yeah, I really would. I just don't trust Pittsburgh because they can't run the ball, and their pass offense is pretty stale, man. They had some timely turnovers today. And the Colts, I just don't trust Phillip Rivers, man. I want to so badly, but he just throws the game away sometimes.
I think you're being a little bit more hard on him than you should, but I understand.
Maybe. I mean, they were missing the tackles. That's a big thing.
I understand.
He's not the type of guy you can rely on to win the game, Phillip Rivers. He's like an upper tier game manager at this point in his career, you know?
And to be fair on what you said, no one's on the Chiefs level in the AFC or in the NFC. So that's not a big deal to be on their level. 2, as bad as it sounds and as crazy as it sounds, I still feel the same way about the Colts. I'm not flinching on the Colts. I still think they're going to get in. I still think they're a really good team. And I do not believe in the Steelers still. I see them still losing a game. One game and done in the playoffs. It doesn't change any type of perspective for me on neither of these teams.
If they play someone bad in the playoffs, they can win the Steelers. But yeah, if they match up with someone decent, I think it's over for them.
Good luck.
Where's Chase Claypool been lately? I know he had a couple yards.
He had a little
today,
bit. I think he had 50 yards today.
I feel like he was so strong in the beginning, and he's just cooled off so much. Maybe that pace was just too much to keep. The 3 touchdowns against my Eagles. Shout out.
It's a lot of mouths to feed.
It is. James Washington, Deontay, Juju, even Ebron when he's not dropping balls over the field. He's a good receiver.
Yeah.
Or tight end. He was basically a big receiver. He doesn't block. Maybe that's why you can't run the ball. Exactly. You can't block either.
And the Steelers got away today with, of course, they got to win, but man, how about the Cleveland Browns losing today to the 1-14 Jets?
You mean the 2-13 Jets?
Oh yeah, they won. On that.
Yo, I guess the Jets don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. They're just like, nah, we don't need him. Sam Darnold, man, he's balling. I gotta give it to him. I feel bad for him that he's just been in mediocrity and crap for 3 years.
Yeah.
Is Adam Gase gonna keep his job?
Right?
No, please don't.
Well,
don't.
Look, for those wondering, the final score was 23-16, and let's get it out there first before we start talking about it. The Browns receivers, almost all of them didn't play in this game. They were on COVID protocol. They
Big
brought
Rona
up
got 'em.
about 3 to 4 guys off the practice squad, I believe.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I picked the Browns to win this game, and it was close. And we did the pick so early this week, we didn't even have that information about the COVID stuff. It happened like what? I think Saturday or Friday night.
Yeah, it was way late in the year.
I would probably have picked the Jets.
Really?
I would have went with the Jets if I knew there was no receivers.
We did say it was probably going to be a close game.
The Jets are annoying, man. I know they're 2-13. What is it? 2-13? Yeah. They play teams close. They don't usually get blown out.
Hey, look. New York is dead set on Justin Fields. Like you said, it's not Trevor Lawrence. They're liking someone else.
I feel like Sam Darnold's buying himself a year. I really feel like that.
Hey, Sam Darnold hasn't looked bad. Probably ever since the Raider game. The Raider game, he played decent, and we all know what happened against the Rams, and he beat the Browns today.
What quarterback doesn't play decent against the Raiders? Oh, wait. Hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there later.
No, we're not. We're not there yet, dog. We're not there. Let's pump the brakes.
Okay, fine. Just this one time.
Well, look. Should we pump the brakes on the Browns?
I don't think so.
You think that's a really valid excuse?
Yeah. I watched them throw the ball. First of all, they threw the ball, I think 55 times?
Yeah.
Or 53 times.
They were down early.
Yeah. I was more shocked by the Browns' defense. Maybe we should just reevaluate the Browns' defense.
That's what I was going to say. Look, no one had COVID on their defense. Their defense was in full effect. They had their best players still, and Myles Garrett. So what happened to the defense today?
It's not like the Jets got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They're throwing to Chris Herndon, Taylor
James
Gabriel?
Crowder.
No, Jameson Crowder. I always get those two little jitterbugs confused. It really looked like Adam Gase kind of figured out the Browns' defense. Sam Darnold looked good. Frank Gore ran for 48 yards.
Future Hall of Famer.
No. Stop
Yes.
it. Stop.
You're out your freaking mind, Max.
I don't want to have this conversation now. I'm just going to say, being good for a long time doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame unless you're in the NBA.
I mean, it's not like he's a long snapper in the NFL for a long time. He was productive.
Okay, if you're the best long snapper in the league for 20 years, should you get in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Why?
Because you're not that valuable.
Okay. See, this is where I kind of disagree. I'm like, if you're the best at your position or like top tier of your position, you get in the Hall of Fame. But he wasn't the best. He was always like that tier below the elite.
Okay.
I can name 30 running backs you take before him in their prime.
There is a lot, but it also depends on who do you look at. What's your criteria of a Hall of Famer?
Well,
that's what it comes down to, because everyone's different.
All right, look. I'm not the NBA, okay? So not everyone's getting it. The NBA, if you played one game for them, you should get in the Hall of Fame, I feel like. Just let everybody in. They're already doing it, so just let everybody in. You got to be top 3 at your position for like 5 or 6 years, and then you got to be like top 10 for like a few years. You got to get some accolades along the way. I'll flush it out for you when we have the real conversation, okay?
I get you, but I think
he's great. I don't want to say he's a bum. He's no Andrew Wiggins.
No.
A lot of NBA references from me today. I'm sorry. Let me keep it NFL.
I think you just hold your Hall of Famers to a higher standard, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm looking at it from a reality standpoint, and I look at the other guys who are in the Hall of Fame, like Jerome Bettis and guys like that, where I feel like Frank Gore is at that tier and even almost better than guys like that.
I agree with that logic about like the Jerome Bettises. And
yeah, Terrell Davis.
Yeah, like, dude, you had 3 good years, bro. You can't get in for 3 good years unless you rush for 5,000 yards.
Exactly. So I feel like if you let guys like that in, you got to let everyone in my opinion. And look, I agree with you. It should be the best of the best, and it should be extremely hard to get in, but that's not the case.
Time will tell, and I think you're probably right, honestly. I just wouldn't put him in. I wouldn't vote for him. Not off anything personal or I hate the guy. It's just you got to be elite to me. And everyone has their own, Hall of Fame. Baseball does it one way. Basketball does it one way. NFL does it one way. And I hate one thing about the NFL Hall of Fame is they always make, like the dirty guys wait, like the linemen. That's what I hate about the NFL.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of a tangent.
Yeah, like some guys have to pass away for them to get in.
Yeah, like Ken Stabler.
Exactly.
Always. It's always some... I feel like there's so much...
It's politics.
Politics, exactly. Like Eli Manning, another one of these guys. He's a Manning. He's going to get in. He should not be in the Hall of Fame. I know he had 2 great Super Bowls. Man, that's going to be a good conversation when we get there. We've already had that conversation, 8 times in our life?
Yeah.
But, hey, let's move on. Let's go to the next game. I don't want to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Turn this into a Hall of Fame Angry Max podcast.
Speaking of a Hall of Famer, which is one that we probably both agree on, how about Aaron Rodgers tonight? Blew out the Tennessee Titans in Lambeau Field with the snow going on and everything, 40-14.
This MVP of the game was the snow. The Titans did not want to be in the snow. They were cold. They were shivering. They didn't want to be there. They hated it.
Did Derrick Henry change his uniform tonight?
Are you referring to my boy A.J. Dillon?
A.J. Dillon was the one who looked like the NFL leading rusher tonight.
A.J. Dillon? Yo, I just want to say, again, that dude's a monster. A.J. Dillon, people hated the pick. I don't know if you remember. They were pissed when they picked him in the second round.
Yeah, because they wanted a receiver.
I was telling you, I was like, bro, there's this guy, A.J. Dillon, for Boston College. I think he's going to be like a 3rd or 4th. You go watch film on him. You were like, that dude runs freaking hard. And I'm like, dude, doesn't he? Like, I feel like he could be like some sledgehammer. Like, he's like a better version of Gus Edwards. But, man, this is the first time he's really played all year.
Yeah, I was shocked on how many carries. I was like, keep on feeding him. Why not?
Well, they ran the ball at will on them. But A.J. Dillon had 21 carries for 124 yards, and Aaron Jones only had 10 carries for 94.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Jones banged up or something?
No, I don't think so. I just feel like it was
Maybe they're saving him?
It was a A.J. Dillon type of game. I just felt like he was just getting better runs. The game just fit him more. Just demoralizing a defense. Aaron Jones doesn't do that.
No, I think Aaron Jones is definitely better than A.J. Dillon. There's no controversy brewing, right? There should not be.
No.
But I love the combination of
feel.
Dillon. Yeah, I love the combination of Dillon and Jones more than I love Jones and like Jamal Williams. I feel like those two guys are too similar.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A.J. Dillon brings like the power run.
You need like that smash and dash kind of combination.
That Lendale White shout out to
exactly.
Chris Johnson.
Well, the original smash and dash, like who was it? Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams.
Oh, D-Lo, as you like to call him.
D-Lo.
Yo, any like power running back and any speed running back, they immediately call themselves smash and dash.
Hell yeah!
So dumb.
Look, Packers obviously proved both of us wrong. I like what I see from Devontae Adams. He's the GOAT, dude. Is he making a case for why he's the best receiver in the game right now, or is it just a Rodgers effect?
No, it's a Devontae Adams effect because we've had years of Devontae Adams being great, but this year he's been more great, better than great.
He's
greater.
healthy this year. That's a big part too. He wasn't healthy last year ever.
I agree with that, and also I want to say I think the coaching's helped them both too. They're not playing that stale Mike McCarthy pass offense where he gets a massage at halftime, doesn't actually scheme up anything.
Yeah, and they even said Mike LaFleur for the Packers. He was saying, hey, if we can hold Derrick Henry under 120 rush yards, I like our chances. They held him under 100 tonight.
I love how that's the bar, though. It's like, he's probably going to get 100. So
that was our over-under question.
Was it really? Oh,
yeah, that's what I said. I said, hey, is he going to get over or under 120 yards?
What did I say? I think I said, like, dang, he's going to get right around there.
Yeah, right around there.
And that's my question about the Packers is just like the big bodies on their D-line, like Kenny Clark, who's shockingly only 25. I saw that today, and I was like, man, he's been in the league for like 4 years, right?
Yeah, he's been in the
been
league
there
for
forever.
a while. He's a monster. Him and Grady Jarrett are some of the most underrated defensive tackles in the league.
Do you still have questions about Green Bay's rush defense after tonight, or
I
feel
they
like it's a
answered the
tough
bell.
path in Lambeau?
They definitely answered the bell. I'll give them that.
I feel like Tennessee almost had to abandon the run, though. They got down so
They
early.
had to, yeah. They got down in a blink of an eye.
I know he had 23 carries, but I felt like they were just playing from behind, so that was kind of like playing into Green Bay's hands. They're like, go for it. And Tannehill was bad tonight. He was bad.
It was tough. He had his moments, though. He had a little 50-yard run, and after that,
that was great.
I don't really blame him, though. I don't blame him. I get what you're saying, but he kind of had to. It was bad weather. He was trying to make something happen. There's a lot of throws he'll like to take back if he wasn't down by so much. Because, look, the reality of this team, their defense sucks. Okay? Malcolm Butler couldn't cover a soul. Adoree Jackson couldn't cover anyone. They couldn't stop the run. Their defense is in a real bad spot right now for Tennessee.
They're too good to be this bad. They have too much talent. I love the linebackers. I love Javon Brown, Rashaan Evans. Rashad Evans, man. Can you, have some IQ out there? He had a penalty. I don't know if you saw it. He had a penalty, I think maybe the second or first drive of the game. It was a drive extender, and they scored a touchdown off it instead of going 3 and out. I was like, God, that's the stupidest penalty to get.
Yeah, it was tough. Like we said, they were down 19 in the blink of an eye. It's hard to stay committed to the run game after that. So
my dad saw Ryan Tannehill running. He's like, man, that white boy can run. Is he a quarterback? I was like, yeah, he's a quarterback.
That boy, a wide receiver, former receiver, man.
That's what I told him, and he's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, man, I never saw that from him in Miami. I'm like, yeah, Miami was just kind of a doomed place to be back in the day.
But look, I know they have problems on defense, and Derrick Henry didn't look good. Whatever. They lost tonight. I get it. This team, though, is just one of those teams I feel like it's once you think that they're dead or they suck, that's when they prove you wrong. Am I right?
You talking about the Titans?
Yeah, the Titans.
Oh, yeah, they got that, Eagles in them where when everyone counts them out, they're like, oh, perfect. Now we're going to play our best football. And I was thinking about how I said I trust them more than the Colts and Steelers. I think maybe I just trust Derrick Henry to just dominate games. And maybe that's wrong of me to think like that, but I got faith in the Titans. I know today was a bad look, tough look, but it's a snow game in Lambeau, and that's a tough place to play. And there's the road to the NFC Championship. It goes through Lambeau Field.
Yeah, what the Packers did tonight was the image of what we thought that the Titans could do. Because when it was snowing, when I seen the game and I seen that it was snowing, I said, okay, this is perfect. This is the game that Tennessee wants. You want a game like this. You want to be able to run the ball and utilize Derrick Henry and not let it be a passing type of game. And it was the complete opposite. The Packers looked like the Titans out there. They looked like they had their own Derrick Henry and A.J. Dillon.
They beat the Titans playing the Titans game. And
exactly.
Have we ever seen that before? I don't think so.
No, look, I was tough on the Packers in our Pick'ems podcast, but hey, you proved me wrong. It was a great job, man. A lot of it is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is, I believe he's 44 and four interceptions, 44 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He's just at pace with Patrick Mahomes. It's ridiculous.
They both are deserving of the MVP award. I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear you ignore the transition I tried to do to get to the Raider game about talking about Miami. I'm kind of salty you ignored it. But I'm going to take us there. Is that okay? Can I take us there right now?
Go ahead.
You own your life?
Go ahead. I do not owe you my life. I was correct in this game.
Can you read that one text I sent you after a certain player got an 80-yard touchdown?
You text me, you're welcome.
Yeah. Nelson Aguilar, man. Game ball to him, even though you guys lost. John Gruden, you need to be better at managing the clock. And you know what? Just go ahead. Give your 2 minutes.
We're in the same position that we were last year. Literally, the same exact position. we started off 6-4, and we lost the next 5 of our 6 games. It's unacceptable, man. And as far as the game goes, we all know what happened. Tua got benched. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. Everything changed. Our defense started to get sliced up. Freaking Arden Key winds up pulling Ryan Fitzpatrick's helmet. Gets a face mask.
Top 10 play of the year by your boy.
No look pass.
Fitz magic.
Damon Arnett, my guy. What were you thinking?
Oh my God, the cover 2, he just was like, oh yeah,
I'm just gonna let
the
guy go past me. I'm gonna worry about this little 15-yard area right here.
That boy took that cheese.
Jesus, dude, it was sick to watch. It was sick, and I get it. I get why Gruden did it. You can look at it both ways from an analytic perspective and just the feel of the game, though. Like, do you really trust your defense that much? It just makes no sense.
Okay, let me stop you really quick. You just talked about the feel of the game?
Yeah.
You remember what? Was it game 5 of the World Series? Game 6? Remember Blake Snell was pitching? And they just yanked him and he was dealing? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that was because all the analytics say, after the pitcher's second time through the order, you can't let him fix it the third time.
Exactly. And he's never pitched that many innings.
Yeah, or some bull crap,
yeah.
Right? It's like, this is the same type of bull crap. You have to use the feel of the game. I don't care what the numbers say. We saw the Raiders defense that night, no offense. They sucked.
Exactly.
They sucked. The only reason they didn't get torched the whole game is because Tua equally sucked.
Yeah. And we'll get into that after.
I'm smiling. I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, he proved why that me and you are not so sold on Tua at all. But it's unacceptable, man. It makes me sick to my stomach that a guy that runs a 4-3 and you can't get him open in your scheme, you're failing as an offense. That's completely unacceptable. A guy that runs 4-3 and you can't get him open. No way, no how? What is that? Honestly.
I haven't seen much of Henry Ruggs since the Hail Mary, and I didn't see much of Henry Ruggs before the play. I feel like he's kind of faded down the stretch. The only thing I like about your offense is Darren Waller right now and Josh Jacobs. I think more Waller right now. I feel like Josh Jacobs, man, I haven't seen him bust a huge run in forever.
He can't. I swear. He just cannot do it.
He gets a lot of 10s and 15s and 20s, but man, that like 25-yard run might as well be what is like Loch Ness Monster. You'll never find it.
Yeah, and I'm convinced it doesn't matter how good Carr plays or how good the defense plays. There's always a phase in our game, whether it's special teams, defense, offense, or even coaching in that matter. Something always winds up messing up. We can never get everything all together, ever. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Yeah, it is Gruden.
Your defense is, I think, the worst in the NFL right now, right?
Just damn near.
If we undid the trade and put Khalil Mack back on this defense, it's still what?
It's still bad.
It's 30th, maybe, instead of 32nd?
Right now, I think technically, going into that game, we're 26. After that night, we're probably in the 28-29.
I just wanted to make that point because I always feel you guys get too much crap for that trade. Khalil Mack's amazing. He was the best part of your defense, but one guy can't make a defense good. I don't think if you put Aaron Donald on this defense, you guys would be top 10 or top 15. I feel like you guys would still suck.
Yeah, it's a collective unit of players. We need corners. We need linebackers. We need everything, dude. We don't have not one impact player. And I love Jonathan Abram. I really do. But the reality is, and Max Crosby, I love those guys. And none of them are impact players. We just have a lot of guys who you will love to be as a duo. Like, you will love Max Crosby if you had a Khalil Mack on the other side. You will love Trayvon Mullen if you had a Jalen Ramsey on the other side, like as your number 2. We have a bunch of guys like that. We don't have a bona fide just number 1 dude.
I feel like Miami's got so much dynamic stuff on defense opposed to their offense that has nothing dynamic except for maybe Myles Gaskin. And all your like dynamic stuff's on offense, right? So you guys are kind of like the antithesis of each other in a way.
Yeah.
Let's go to Miami's offense. Miami's defense, I actually thought they didn't play great, but I feel like that's more of a testament of how good the Raiders' offense is. The offense is good. Carr's not the issue. The only thing I want to say about Carr is, you could be a little bit more manly in the pocket, standing there, but I feel like he just curls up on the ball sometimes.
Yeah. And their defense took a big loss. They lost Elandon Roberts. It looks like he's done for the year. That's a big loss.
Yeah, he's not their best player, but he's just like the leader of that team. He knows the scheme. He's from the Patriots. Brian Flores, Patriot guy. It sucked to see, man. You could just see the respect people have for him.
Yeah.
Let's go to Tua, man.
Terrible.
So a couple weeks ago, we were talking. I think, what game was it? Maybe the Chiefs game? It was right after then, and we were listening to stuff. We're watching stuff. People were saying, Tua looked great. Tua was amazing, right? And
yeah.
me and you were like,
no.
Me and you both saw it, and we both were like, are we tripping right now?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't think so.
I had to go double check some tape and watch some more like stuff on him, and I came out the same way. I said, I don't know what people are looking at. Maybe it's the fact that he did get a win, but I don't like what I see. He doesn't push the ball down the field.
And Kurt Warner's boosting him, saying, oh, I look at the tape and Tua's really pushing that envelope. I'm like, what are you watching?
Yeah, Kurt Warner was terrible that night. He is terrible.
And his suit was terrible. It was pink.
Yeah.
No offense to guys who have pink suits, but that was trash.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was pissing me off. But I haven't seen Tua push the ball down the field. It's all dink and dunk. He had one pass on Saturday. One pass. It was to Mike Gesicki. It was really early in the game that he actually threw a ball to the numbers, and it had some velocity on it. Every single throw after that was unimpressive. It was a guy who was obviously being managed. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Alabama with Jalen Hurts.
That's a good comp.
It really was.
And
That's what it reminded me of on how they were treating him.
He went 17 for 22 for 94 yards. And the scary thing is people are going to see the 17 for 22 and be like, man, he's accurate. He's really not that accurate.
Yeah.
Or at least, yes, that game he wasn't that accurate.
He averaged 5.5 yards a throw. He's not pushing the ball downfield.
And it was day and night when Fitzmagic took over. He had 9 completions for 182 yards. That's insane.
Yeah, and the throws were night and day. Look, I tell people this all the time. The difference between the pros and college, especially at the quarterback position, guys are rarely wide open. And I'm not going to say that they're never, but a lot of the times, the great quarterbacks, the good quarterbacks, those great quarterbacks throw guys open. So they can be covered, but the difference is that they throw them open. And that's right when Ryan Fitzpatrick came in, he was automatically just throwing guys open. So yeah, to the average person, if you roll the tape and you roll the play all the way through, the guy doesn't look open at all. But he's so good that he throws them open. Those are the tight windows that everyone talks about. The transition from college to pros.
And he's not playing with 4 5-star recruits against crappy, I don't know, Texas Tech, Louisiana Tech, whatever the schools are. He's playing. I know the Raiders' defense sucks, no offense, but these are grown men. These were guys who were elite at one point in their schooling. Like, everyone in the NFL was a monster at some point in their high school career. That's how you get to the NFL.
Yeah, and Kurt Warner kind of threw shots at him. It was funny. He did say that. He was saying, well, this is not Alabama. Guys are not running wide open. And I was like, it's true. It's so true.
Was that his only good, thing he said all night?
He was like 1 for 25.
I can't stand Kurt Warner announcing. He seems like a nice guy. I don't want to like hate on him too much, but
Yeah.
the NFL announcers are tough sometimes, dude.
No. Are the Dolphins going to get in?
I don't know. I feel like Bill Belichick. They're playing the Bills. I don't know. I feel like the Bills might have something to play for.
They will.
No, probably not. Because what's the matter at this point, right? Kansas City already got the number 1 seed.
I don't see the Bills being a team to pack it in early, though. They had some pride.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying maybe Josh Allen doesn't play. We'll have to see, honestly, going into the week what the situation's going to be. Well, I guess it depends if the Bills win Monday night. So we'll just have to see and see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what happens. Raiders are done, though. They're out the playoffs.
Yeah, sorry, man. Let's just go to another game where just teams are done. Let's go through quick. Denver and the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers won 19-16. This game sucked. No offense. Herbert's amazing. Broke Baker Mayfield's rookie touchdown record. Drew Lock was not very good. I see what you mean by he's trash. I had some hope for him. It's gone.
Anthony Lynn might have his job saved by Herbert.
No, he's going to keep it, man. He's going to keep it. And he seems like a nice guy. I can almost forget that he went to the playoffs a couple years ago and they went 11-5. But even when they went there, like the same issues were like occurring. Like they can't kick field goals. They get punts blocked.
Yeah, from a Raiders perspective, keep him. I love it. From a fan's perspective, it's horrible. They might wreck this kid's career. It's going to be bad. And
I don't know. I don't think they can wreck it. I don't think they can wreck his career just of how good he is. Because he's doing good now.
But they're going to wreck his potential.
Keenan Allen because he throws too much.
Look, and they might wreck it in pure Charger fashion. Look, Charger fans, do me a favor. Go on Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media platform you use, and start using #FireLynn. That's what Charger fans need to do, because that's the move that has to happen to save Herbert's career. Get a new coach in there. Anthony Lynn is not the guy. Hopefully they fire him. The game was meaningless. No one really cared about the game. Moving on.
Yo, if they don't fire him, I'm going to start a hashtag on Twitter called Linsanity.
Jeez.
Let him bring back Linsanity, LYNN.
Moving on to the other Saturday game that was on. So should we call them the Glendale 49ers? Just for a little bit more respect?
They could be San Francisco 49ers.
Well,
they won in their own house. Oh, I mean, I guess it's the
it was
Arizona
a neutral
Cardinals
field.
House.
It was a neutral field.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it anywhere they play neutral because they have no fans? Are they fake fans? I'm sorry. You just always see New Jerseys.
Cardinal fans and the Cardinals really took a bad L. They lost 20-12. Cardinals got bullied in this game.
Yo, Christian Kirk, you could have put a little effort on that last pick. You could have tried to break it up.
Yeah. You got to become the DB.
No offense. Like, come on. Like, do something. Kyler got hurt, right? But he's going to be fine.
He'll be okay.
What we've been seeing. I feel like their season's kind of done. Are they eliminated? Or they're still
No, they're still in it. They're still in it.
I feel like they shouldn't be.
They just don't control their own destiny.
Games. I feel like Cliff Kingsbury is probably the worst coach in the NFL against his own division. Like, he gets whooped on by the Rams.
But they did beat the Niners week 1, so Niners got a little bit of revenge.
That's true. I get it. I just feel like Cliff Kingsbury gets figured out by the coaches in his division. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Robert Saleh had his number this game, definitely.
Maybe it's just the way he looks sometimes and the way, like, this offense is kind of looks. Because sometimes it's hitting on all cylinders, then it's stale, right? Like the Giants week.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys doing?
Because compared to last week, Hopkins was a non-factor this game. No show.
I actually blocked out the events of last week in my brain, so I really don't remember. It's like fuzzy. It's like PTSD when I see DeAndre Hopkins destroy like our secondary. Oh, you can't wait! You can't wait till you hear about what I have to say about our secondary after today's game.
Jeez, yeah. The way it works with this team is if Kyler doesn't score, their defense is not that good, so the defense can't hold up. the Cardinals are in big trouble as far as making the playoffs. I feel like everyone this year, 1 year early on this team, including with Murray, just with everything. Everyone's a year early. I think next year they're really gonna take that big step.
I feel like next year for them is gonna be like the Browns year. It's either next step or it's all gonna be a disaster, and someone gets fired. I don't think that's gonna happen because I don't think Cliff Kingsbury's like a wreck like Freddie Kitchens was. But yeah, like you said, everyone kind of had this team being really good, and they kind of got off to that quick start, and they've kind of fizzled out. Like they just never really were consistent enough.
The Niners gave the Chicago Bears a little Christmas gift with that win.
I mean, let's just go to the Bears game real quick. Jacksonville fans rejoice. You got Trevor Lawrence if he comes out. It'd be hilarious if he didn't. Just a troll. The Trubisky's alive and well. Get your second contract. Get your money, my guy, Trubisky.
The Bears.
Yeah. I don't know if I trust them in a playoff game, but beat the crap out of the Jags.
Yeah, the Jags suck. They officially probably picked Trevor Lawrence today. They literally selected him right after the Jets won.
They're just getting the lawyer started on the contract a little early.
Exactly. They're already permanent marker on the card, getting it nice and ready. They're probably laminating it. It'll be all right.
They're probably putting kisses on it, just having
calling up Trevor,
bless it.
giving all his friends and family Jaguar gear. Sliding them the playbook under the table.
Go ahead and learn this real quick, big fella.
Exactly. It was a blowout, 41-17. Look, the Bears look good. They were dead in the water about 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God, what a weird season. What was it, 5-0?
Yeah.
5-1. Then like 5 straight losses. Now they've won a couple in a row.
So up and down. Matt Nagy's saving his job right now.
Oh my God, we were calling for his job, and he deserved it.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like, well, a couple weeks ago, you said Matt Nagy sucked. Well, he did suck. He did suck for like 4 weeks.
Yeah. No, I really do feel like the Bears are going to be the team to get in for that last playoff spot. But do they win a playoff game?
No. They're pretenders. They're going to double doink it.
It's just hard for me to see Trubisky outdueling any quarterback in the NFC.
Like Russell Wilson or somebody?
Oh, my goodness. Let's talk about Russ. My God.
No. Let's talk about Jared Goff. No, you know what? Go with Russ. Let's leave the bad news for a second.
He was not Russell. Look,
he's Russell.
I had this gut feeling. I know I picked the Rams. And I shouldn't have, because I know better. And when we were doing our Pick'ems podcast, I was talking myself into Russell Wilson. Because is this just not a typical Seahawk at home, Russell Wilson throwing touchdowns, defense playing well? This seemed like a 2013, 2012 kind of game where they're making goal line stops. It was great to see. The Seahawks, I'm very impressed. Their defense played with a lot of heart today.
Jamal Adams made some big plays. And I know you hate him in coverage, and he has crappy hands because he dropped a pick today. But, man, his motor is amazing.
Yeah.
I love the Seahawks defense. I know they don't have the most talent, and I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying I just love the way they play at times. When they're not, like, miscommunicating stuff and just letting receivers run wide open. They're, like, a good unit. Yo, Carlos Dunlap's been huge for them.
Look.
Been huge.
Look, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago where we were saying one of the biggest problems with their defense is communication. You have to communicate when you play against Sean McVay's offense. That's the main key. They were big today, dude. The whole game changed when they had that third quarter goal line stand. That was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I think that's like one of the series where Jamal Adams saved the touchdown, right? With Darrell Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
A part of me died because I had Gerald Henderson on my DraftKings. But, I was just like, you know what? I picked the Seahawks. I want to see the Seahawks win.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf had such a better game. They actually found ways to get him open because he just needs the ball in his hand.
And he finished. Oh, my goodness. Did you see that play where they needed a first down? How he finished the game? He just trucked one of the linebackers for the Rams.
I can't believe that guy got up. I thought he was just going to lay there.
He is so
like,
physical.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
And only had 6 catches for, I think, 60, 70 yards? But, what did he have the first game? 1 for 9?
Yeah. It was a tough game. The Rams defense is still really good, so they weren't going to go crazy. And
it's really not the McVay offensive explosion. It's the Rams defense and Jared Goff. What were those commercials? Remember where it was hi, I'm Jared Goff, and I have satellite, and it's some the press guy, and it's someone who can't throw the ball and just throws the ball into the ground and fumbles and throws dumb picks.
He is terrible.
I'm Jared Goff with DirecTV.
Terrible.
And I was amazing, right? Jared Goff is so up and down. That pick he threw to Quandre Diggs, that was amazing. He just lofted the ball to him for no reason.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that Jared Goff and Carson Wentz, the number 1 and 2 picks.
There's no need. There is no need. We just talk about the number 1 pick.
Look, it's amazing that both of those guys are big trade candidates for next year to be off of their teams.
And they both got bags.
Yeah, big bags.
At least one won a Super Bowl. I was going to say that. I know he didn't play. But look, I will say, Jared Goff has never been as good as Carson Wentz was.
No.
I will say that. Just to shout out my boy Carson Wentz. But Rams fans, why do you guys have faith in this dude? There's never been an outcry for Jared Goff to be benched, right?
No. Probably ever since his rookie year, but I wouldn't say he's that bad. He's
I remember Eric Dickerson was calling for Sean Mannion to start.
He was
at one point. But that was after his rookie season. He was kind of right. But now, he had the success. Remember the MVP talks he was getting because they were the Super Bowl year?
Yeah.
It was him and Gurley. This dude is not that good. He's not mobile. He throws. Have you seen the way the ball is in the air? It's like a knuckleball. It's no spiral. It's not tight. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's not good. Jared Goff is just not one of those quarterbacks who's going to carry you. I would have let him walk. I wouldn't have paid him that money. He's not a guy where if things are going bad, he's going to pick you up and carry you. You need everything good to be around him. And he's not the guy. I hope the Rams move on. They're probably not. Who knows? Speaking of quarterbacks who can't play at all, Dwayne Haskins, my guy.
He absolutely is a bum. And I remember hearing people say, he kind of had a good second half.
Yeah, right.
Is not this game, I'm saying last week. But yeah, people were like, second half, he wasn't bad. I'm like, he dug them in the hole the first half. This time, he was awful. He got benched, right?
Yeah, so he was the sole reason why they lost that game. He is the sole reason. And look, don't give me this Terry McLaurin was out and they didn't have... Look, the guy was turning over the ball left and right. He had 2 picks. He got sacked multiple times. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of DeShone Kizer a couple of years ago. You remember when DeShone Kizer was just a turnover machine?
Oh my! Are you talking DeShone Kizer was getting all that preseason hype because he had 2 good games and then he went to the NFL in the real season and went 0-16?
Exactly. Look, Dwayne Haskins is gonna be a bona fide scrub, and the best thing he's gonna be is a backup quarterback in this league. He's not gonna be a starter.
Dude, they voted him to not be a captain after the strip club thing.
Yeah.
You don't want that to lead your team at the quarterback position.
Yeah. The sad thing is that they still have a chance.
It's because that defense, and especially that D-line. Dude, he has to lose them the game. What don't people get? I feel bad for Alex Smith because I feel like they would have easily won this division with him.
Yeah. Defense is single-handedly going to take this team to the playoffs if they win. Chase Young, lock. Lock for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Absolute lock.
Oh, it's easy. I mean, who's the other guy? Jeremy Chin, maybe? I don't even think he's been in the stratosphere. Chase Young. And I mean, Chase Young made a Pro Bowl, so you know how good he is if he made a Pro Bowl. You know, only the smart fans vote for that. I mean, look, this game sucked, right?
Yeah, it sucked. The red. I almost did it. I
just heard red. You're good. You were saying a color.
Look, football team still has a shot. I hope Alex Smith plays next week. I hope they beat the Eagles. I want to see that defense in the playoffs. If Alex Smith plays, they'll be interesting to watch. Going on the Panthers side, I'll make it quick. This is the Panthers defense that I was talking about a couple weeks ago. I love their future. I love Jeremy Chin. I like Derek Brown. I like what they got going on defense.
I like their head coach too. Matt Rule's a good coach. I know they're 5-11. They're gonna end up 5-11 probably. There was some bright spots for this team, especially with basically what can we just call this year? No McCaffrey.
Yeah,
he played like 3 games.
Exactly.
Atlanta in Kansas City. Oh, I think I said this on the pod. This is the game Atlanta loves to compete in for no reason, just to lose it. Shout out to the chokers of the year, the Atlanta Falcons. I feel bad to be an Atlanta fan. I just feel really bad for them.
Yeah, it had the whole recipe for it. They caught Mahomes and the Chiefs sleepwalking today. The whole game almost. And look, A.J. Terrell had the game in his hands. My man just dropped it. Come on, Clemson. He had it. That was game over if he catches that pick. It was a great play, though, regardless.
Oh, it was. And I felt bad for him because he's kind of had a very quiet rookie season. And all anyone wants to talk about with Atlanta is blowing leads and their defense sucks. Yo, shout out to my man, Sammy Watkins, for throwing a pick. I just love when non-quarterbacks throw picks. First of all, that play was so trash. Oh, let me put it like, what's the equivalent to that play? Is it like you do a super nice crossover and then brick the layup?
Brick the layup or shot. Yeah.
They had the whole team do the 360. They had the, what was it? Mahomes did the like little fake shovel pass. Da-da-da. Sammy Watkins yeeted it up there for Mahomes. And Mahomes tried, though.
Yeah. And look, the Chiefs were not full force. They, like I said, they were sleepwalking. They didn't really try until the fourth quarter. Atlanta put up a good fight. We know the Chiefs are going to be fine. They tend to do this a lot. The main thing I wanted to talk about this game, besides the actual outcome, how good is Travis Kelce?
I feel like everyone kind of forgot about him last year with the emergence of Kittle. And he broke Kittle's record, right? 1,377 yards receiving?
Yeah.
For a tight end?
He a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he's a lock. He's 100% a lock. And people are going to say, he's just playing with Patrick Mahomes. Well, he plays with Tyreek Hill, too. Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins. He still has to get his. There's a lot of mouths to feed.
Exactly. And he's leading, I believe he's leading the league in receiving still, correct?
I think he's second to DK. It's DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, it's still
I checked that today.
Top 3. That's still remarkable as a tight end.
I'm rooting for him so much to like lead the league. Just I think that'd be so cool. But he's probably not even gonna play next week, which is sad because you don't want to risk him. And they're gonna finish 15-1, 14-2.
Yeah, and they clinched everything. They clinched home field for the playoffs.
Jeez, that's so valuable. The Packers and Chiefs are gonna be the 1 seeds, right?
Yeah, the Travis Kelce and the Chiefs, man. Moving on, irrelevant game. Cincinnati at Houston. This game was meaningless. It was so meaningless that me and Max forgot to pick this game. We apologize.
Shout out to Max because it's Max who needs to apologize because I messed up. I forgot to include it. I guess I'll just give us both wins or whatever, or give us both a loss or whatever. Figure something out.
Oh, it's all right. It was a good game as far as like entertainment wise. Maybe if you were
shout out to Dolphin fans because they have a top 5 pick because of Bill O'Brien being goodness, a bum.
For real. That's about the only thing. But shout out to David
O'Brien?
Johnson fantasy owners.
Oh my God, that's my guy, David Johnson. Man, he ain't been the same since that one.
My boy came through championship week. Shout out to anyone who had him, but meaningless game, and didn't really have no no implications on it. Moving on to
You were a diehard if you watched that game, basically.
Yeah.
You were a diehard fan.
moving on to Max's team, Philadelphia at Dallas.
Ugh, sheesh.
Philly goes
Hey,
down.
you know what? It's all Jalen Hurts' fault. He gave up the 37 point. No, I'm just sick of it, man. No one wants to blame Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying he played bad. I'm just saying if this happened with Carson Wentz and he put up the same stats, he'd be like, oh, Carson Wentz sucked. He sucked. Our team sucks. I don't know if you knew this. As soon as Fletcher Cox went out the game, it was over. It was done for us. They destroyed us.
Yeah, he had a stinger, right? Something like that.
He had a pinched nerve in his neck. He'll be fine, but
Yeah.
he got knocked out of the game. And, Jonathan Vilma called this game. There's a guy on our team. His name's Jaquette. He is so bad. Jonathan Vilma was calling him a bona fide scrub during the game, talking about get him out of there, coach. It was so bad. Amari Cooper showed up shockingly. Michael Gallup looked like DeAndre Hopkins. CeeDee Lamb had some big catches. Man, we suck, dude. Jalen Hurts played great. He really did play great.
I called it. I was telling people all week, I don't see Philadelphia guarding any of those Dallas receivers. It's tough because you guys just don't really match up well with them. If the Cowboys have a good quarterback and, Andy Dalton was slinging the ball today pretty decent, and no pass rush after Fletcher Cox went out, it was tough.
No, it was bad, man. The bright spot is Jalen Hurts, but that's also probably a bad spot because it's just going to bring up so many questions about Wentz and what to do. And
I'm
I'm going
impressed.
to go down with this ship.
I'm impressed.
I still think Wentz can play.
Look,
but I am very impressed with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. And look,
Jeez.
whether you guys trade Wentz or trade Hurts, I like Hurts, regardless on where he goes. I don't care if he stays in Philly. I don't care if he gets traded somewhere else. All I know, that guy looks like a starting quarterback in the league. That's all I know.
Should we give a shout out to Deshaun Jackson because he made one catch for 80 yards, even though I said he would never do anything again? But I mean, we still got blown out.
Man, came right out the gates. He was waiting for that one.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Bless you.
I mean, people are gonna be like, "Oh, look, you said he was done." He's made what 3 plays for the Eagles in 2.5 years since he's back.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Maybe. Hey, look, Dallas is alive.
I guess Philadelphia has the chance to save the Cowboys season next week.
Yeah,
Dude,
they do.
if I was a player on the Eagles, I'd be sick. 'Cause I'm like, there's no winning this game. Like, even winning, you just get the Cowboys in.
You just go out there and play. You don't worry about it. You want to win.
I want to win. I just want to see Washington make it because I hate the Cowboys more than Washington because I know Dwayne Haskins is I want to get Dwayne Haskins to the playoffs so he can just lose what little confidence he has left.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's the best case scenario for any of the NFC East teams that make it, whether it's the Giants, the Cowboys, or football team. I wouldn't mind going 6-10 or 7-9, still getting a good enough draft pick where you're not really middle of the pack and you get to make the playoffs too. So not a bad combo.
You were talking about the Giants. I think that's the last game to cover is Ravens at Giants, and the Ravens just outmuscled this team from the start. It was a Ravens beatdown.
Yeah, the Ravens look good, man, but their best win was that Monday night against Cleveland.
You mean the game where Lamar was quote unquote pooping in the bathroom?
Exactly, the Paul Pierce shark game. But
no, I don't think Lamar pooped himself. I'm just gonna say that
he probably did. He was running in that locker room, like if he had to go, like if he had the bubble guts coming out.
Oh my gosh, are you really gonna bring that up on the pod?
But look, this team, the one thing that everyone was looking forward to was the Ravens competing against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see this team beating the Chiefs. I don't see them as a top dog in the AFC, like how we're looking at them in the beginning of the year. Yeah, I feel like they're going to make the playoffs, but I want to see more. I really want to see them against a good team. We're going to see that in the playoffs. Maybe they prove me wrong. I'm not a big fan of Lamar Jackson when it comes down to him having to throw the ball downfield and read defenses. I'm interested to see. Going on the Giants side, Daniel Jones obviously hurt, right?
I forgot what game he suffered the ankle injury in, but yeah, he shouldn't be playing. He hasn't looked the same. I don't even think he really ran the ball at all. Maybe 1 or 2 carries.
Yeah, and that's what he does great. That's what makes him kind of dynamic.
It helps their team because when you're not a dynamic team and you can maybe get a cheap little dynamic play from the quarterback, it helps.
Yeah. What do you think about the Ravens?
I think they can maybe win their first playoff game, but then they're done. They're just not in the tier of Kansas City or even I'd say the Cold Steelers and Titans are in the next tier down.
Yeah.
I feel like they're in the Browns tier, which is kind of they're a fun team, but we don't really buy it. I mean, maybe that defense, I don't know. They're just such a weird team because they can't throw the ball, and their defense is so hit or miss lately.
And Humphrey got hurt, so that might be a big loss.
He looked like he was okay, but I didn't really see what happened.
Hopefully.
And you don't want Marcus Peters to be a number 1 corner.
Hey, but look, the Giants, one thing that really stuck out to me was they don't have any playmakers on offense or defense. Maybe Jabril Peppers?
He's not even a playmaker because he doesn't really get a lot of interceptions. Maybe he'll recover a fumble and force a fumble here and there. And, man, I was so wrong about this game. I thought the Ravens weren't going to be able to run the ball well. 250 rushing yards later. Gosh.
But look, would Saquon Barkley make a difference for this team if he was playing?
Yes and no. I feel like he'd make a little bit of difference. Maybe he swings 1 or 2 games. But shoot, maybe that is a big enough difference because that right there, you're probably winning that division 1 or 2 games right now. But I don't know. What do you think? I'm kind of torn right now because I want to say yes, but I also want to say no.
I do think so. And a big part of it on why their seasons kind of went down these last 2 games when they had that little 3-game win streak going. A big part of it was Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones just being hurt really just sucks for them. And like I said, they don't have any playmakers besides Evan Ingram maybe. So
I don't love Evan Ingram, man. He's so hit or miss.
Yeah, he's hit or miss, and Saquon Barkley just brings that other dynamic to the team where you got to respect him. And if Daniel Jones was playing like that during that win streak and they do that consistently, maybe they got a little something there. They are a long ways of going to being any kind of threat in the NFC in general. They got a long way to go. But, hey, I like Joe Judge. I think there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for Daniel Jones. They still got Saquon Barkley. We know how great he is. They have a defensive line that's young, nasty, and ready to get after it. Maybe they got a little something in the future.
I think next year's going to be really bright for the Giants, especially with the guys coming back. They're going to have some good players. Dave Gettleman's done an okay job? Good job? He's kind of, jury's still out, right?
Yeah, jury's still out.
They're young. They're going to get better, and I feel like the division's really geared to football team and the Giants more than the other 2 teams.
Yeah. I feel more comfortable with those 2 teams, which is crazy because in the beginning of the season, everyone felt like it was Dallas and Philly by a landslide.
Maybe it's because the Eagles and Cowboys have been the underachievers and these guys are the overachievers. We're having this logic, but I think there's something to it, man. I feel like the Reds almost did it.
You almost did it.
Like football team would really be a solid team if they had a good quarterback.
Yeah. And look, Alex Smith is nothing great. And just for him to play, it's a big difference. So it makes you think what would happen if they got a guy,
Maybe someone falls to them. I mean, we're going to be getting into the draft stuff pretty soon. Another couple months and we're there?
Yeah, almost. We know where Trevor Lawrence is going.
We don't know when he's coming out, though.
Oh, he's coming out. Oh man. But hey,
who's winning the Heisman? Let's do it real quick. Who's winning the Heisman?
I'm putting my money on one of the Bama guys now. 2 Bama guys up for it.
Look, is it going to be Devontae Smith, the receiver from Bama, or Trevor Lawrence?
I think Trevor Lawrence winds up getting it.
I think so, too. I feel like people are going to be like, oh, the COVID stuff happened.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. We'll give it to him. I would say, though, it'd be dope if a receiver won it, if someone other than a quarterback won it.
Yeah. Hey, that guy's going to be a monster, though, Devontae Smith.
I feel like he's a better version of Coop. I don't know. He's a Coop with a little bit of dog in him.
Yeah. We'll see. I want to see a little bit more from the Bama quarterback. I know of course he has great stats, but I want to see him, a little bit more games and pressure situations. Hopefully they go up against Clemson and we see what that looks like, but Jerry's still out on that. You know how Bama quarterbacks are.
AJ McCarron and Tua. Last 2 I can think of.
Hey, Jalen Hurts. Another one.
Yeah, it's Oklahoma quarterback. Shut up.
He's Oklahoma product.
Yeah, exactly.
But look, man, you want to call it?
Let's call it, man. It's late. I'm tired of a full day of football. Watch some basketball. Watch the Clippers get spanked, which brought a smile to my face. We're not going to spend time on it because it's game 3 in the season. No one cares.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear overreactions, go listen to our last podcast.
Oh, geez, yeah.
But look, we love all the support. Once again, thank you, everyone. If you're listening and you made it this far, congratulations. You made it this far listening to the best damn sports podcast out there. Nah. But make sure to follow us on all the streaming platforms, all the social media, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. That is at Bax and Juan Cast. For social media, for Twitter and Instagram, it is at Max_Juan Cast. Anything else?
I just want to say thanks for a good podcast. It's going to be a hectic week 17 of football. We're already there. With all the COVID stuff, there's going to be no extra week. The NFL powers through. It's going to be a fun New Year. It's going to be some good college games. I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man. This is one of my favorite times of the year. College football playoffs, NFL playoffs coming up. Got the NBA season just kicking off. I love it, man. Love to see it. But everyone, stay safe out there for the new year. Stay safe from COVID. Do what you got to do.
2021 cannot be worse than 2020. That's the last final thought I have about that subject. There's no way it can't get worse.
Man, with that said, this is Juan. I'm out.
This is Max. Have a good one, everybody.